What would happen if dinosaurs, those majestic and fearsome creatures that roamed the Earth millions of years ago, suddenly returned to life? Would humanity marvel at their grandeur, or would we face chaos and extinction? The idea of dinosaurs walking among us again sparks both fascination and dread, blending science fiction with real-world implications. From the lush jungles of the Jurassic to the urban sprawl of modern cities, the reappearance of these ancient giants would reshape ecosystems, challenge human civilization, and force us to confront our place in a world no longer ours alone. In this video, we will explore the ecological, societal, and technological consequences of such an extraordinary event, delving into the challenges and opportunities it would present to humanity and the planet. The sudden return. How could dinosaurs reappear? The concept of dinosaurs returning to life is rooted in science fiction, but advances in genetic engineering make it a tantalizing possibility. Techniques like de-extinction, using preserved DNA from fossils or related species like birds, could theoretically bring dinosaurs back. Imagine a breakthrough where scientists successfully clone a Tyrannosaurus rex or resurrect a herd of Triceratops. Alternatively, a fantastical event, such as a time rift or an alien intervention, could reintroduce living dinosaurs to Earth. Regardless of the mechanism, their return would introduce creatures adapted to a world vastly different from our own, setting the stage for profound changes. Dinosaurs range from small, agile predators like velociraptors to massive herbivores like Argentinosaurus, which could weigh up to 100 tons. Their sudden presence would disrupt modern ecosystems, economies, and societies. To understand the impact, we must consider their biological needs, interactions with modern environments, and humanity's response to their return. Ecological upheaval, a clash of eras. Dinosaurs evolved in a world with different climates, vegetation, and atmospheric conditions. The Mesozoic era featured higher oxygen levels and warmer temperatures, supporting lush forests and vast wetlands. Today's Earth, shaped by human activity and climate change, is far less hospitable to these ancient creatures. However, their adaptability, evidenced by the survival of their avian descendants, suggests they could still wreak havoc on modern ecosystems. Habitat competition and ecosystem collapse. Dinosaurs would compete with existing wildlife for resources like food, water, and territory. Large herbivores like Brachiosaurus would devastate forests and grasslands, consuming vast quantities of vegetation. A single sauropod could eat hundreds of pounds of plants daily, outstripping the regenerative capacity of modern ecosystems. Deforestation would accelerate, disrupting habitats for mammals, birds, and insects. This could lead to cascading extinctions as food chains collapse under the pressure of these mega-consumers. Predatory dinosaurs like T-Rex or Spinosaurus would pose an even more immediate threat. With no natural predators, they could decimate populations of deer, cattle, and other large mammals. In regions like Africa, where megafauna like elephants and rhinos still exist, dinosaurs might outcompete or prey on these species, further destabilizing biodiversity. Marine dinosaurs, such as Mosasaurus, could disrupt oceanic ecosystems, preying on fish stocks and marine mammals, threatening fisheries that billions of people rely on. Climate and environmental feedback loops. The reintroduction of dinosaurs could exacerbate climate change. Large herbivores would release significant amounts of methane, a potent greenhouse gas, through digestion, similar to modern cattle but on a much larger scale. Their trampling of vegetation and soil could reduce carbon sequestration, accelerating global warming. In turn, warmer temperatures might favor some dinosaur species, allowing them to spread into new regions, further disrupting ecosystems. Coastal and urban areas, already vulnerable to rising sea levels, would face additional threats from aquatic or semi-aquatic dinosaurs like plesiosaurs. These creatures could navigate flooded cities, turning climate-driven disasters into opportunities for colonization. Meanwhile, smaller dinosaurs like Compsognathus might thrive in urban environments, scavenging human waste and spreading disease, much like modern rats. Humanity's response: survival or extinction. The reappearance of dinosaurs would test humanity's resilience, ingenuity, and adaptability. Our response would depend on the scale of their return, the species involved, and our ability to organize globally. Immediate threats to human safety. Predatory dinosaurs would pose a direct threat to human life. A single T-Rex could kill dozens of people in a densely populated area before being contained. Rural communities, particularly in developing nations, would be especially vulnerable due to limited access to defensive technologies. Even herbivores, while less aggressive, could cause destruction by trampling crops, homes, and infrastructure. Imagine a herd of triceratops charging through a Midwest farmland, destroying entire harvests in hours. Urban areas wouldn't fare much better. Dinosaurs could disrupt transportation, power grids, and communication networks. A rampaging Allosaurus in a city like New York could collapse buildings, clog streets, and overwhelm emergency services. Panic would likely amplify the chaos as people flee or attempt to confront these creatures with inadequate weapons. Societal and economic disruption. The economic impact would be staggering. Agriculture, a cornerstone of global food security, would collapse as dinosaurs consume or destroy crops and livestock. Supply chains would falter, leading to food shortages and skyrocketing prices. Industries like tourism and transportation would grind to a halt as travel becomes unsafe. Coastal economies reliant on fishing would face collapse if marine dinosaurs disrupt aquatic ecosystems. Governments would face immense pressure to respond. Military forces might be deployed to contain dinosaurs, but conventional weapons like firearms or tanks might prove ineffective against the largest species. A T-Rex, with its thick hide and massive size, could withstand significant firepower. Developing specialized weapons or containment strategies would require time and resources, diverting funds from other critical areas like healthcare or climate mitigation. Ethical and scientific dilemmas. The return of dinosaurs would raise profound ethical questions. If humans engineered their revival, would we have a responsibility to protect them, even at the cost of human lives? Conservationists might argue for preserving dinosaurs as a scientific marvel, while others would demand their eradication to protect humanity. The debate over de-extinction would intensify, with critics arguing that resurrecting dinosaurs was reckless and hubristic. Scientists would scramble to study these creatures, potentially unlocking new insights into evolution, biology, and paleontology. However, the risks of experimentation, such as escaped lab specimens or genetic mutations, could compound the crisis. The temptation to weaponize dinosaurs, as seen in fictional works like Jurassic Park, could lead to even greater disasters. Technological and cultural adaptation. Humanity's survival would hinge on our ability to adapt. History shows that humans are remarkably resilient, from taming fire to building skyscrapers. Faced with dinosaurs, we would likely develop innovative solutions to coexist or dominate. Containment and coexistence strategies. Governments and organizations could establish dinosaur sanctuaries, isolated regions where these creatures could live without threatening human populations. Islands or remote areas like parts of Australia's outback or Antarctica's thawed regions could serve as containment zones. Advanced fencing, drones, and AI-driven monitoring systems could keep dinosaurs confined while allowing scientists to study them. In some cases, humanity might domesticate smaller dinosaurs. Species like velociraptors, with their intelligence and pack behavior, could be trained for tasks like search and rescue or pest control, much like modern dogs. Herbivores like Ankylosaurus could be used in agriculture, clearing land, or serving as natural plows, provided their environmental impact is managed. Technological innovations. The dinosaur crisis would spur technological advancements. Robotics and AI could be deployed to track and neutralize threats, with autonomous drones equipped with tranquilizers or sonic deterrents. Genetic engineering might be used to modify dinosaurs, reducing their size, aggression, or reproductive capacity to make them less dangerous. Satellites could monitor dinosaur migrations, predicting and preventing conflicts with human settlements. Medical research could also benefit. Studying dinosaur physiology might lead to breakthroughs in regenerative medicine, as their rapid growth and robust immune systems offer clues to human health. However, these advancements would come at a cost, as resources are diverted from other pressing issues like poverty or renewable energy. Cultural shifts. Dinosaurs would reshape human culture. Art, literature, and media would explode with dinosaur-themed stories, reflecting both fear and fascination. Religions might interpret their return as a divine sign, sparking new movements or conflicts. Education systems would incorporate dinosaur studies, preparing future generations for a world shared with these creatures. Tourism could adapt, with heavily secured dinosaur safaris becoming a lucrative industry. Imagine guided tours through protected reserves, where visitors observe a grazing brontosaurus from the safety of an armored vehicle. Such ventures could fund conservation efforts, though they'd carry significant risks. Long-term implications. A new world order? Over decades, the presence of dinosaurs would fundamentally alter Earth's trajectory. Ecosystems would stabilize or collapse, depending on our ability to manage their impact. Humanity might retreat to fortified cities, ceding rural areas to dinosaurs, or we might reclaim dominance through technological superiority. The outcome depends on our unity and foresight, a fragile coexistence. If humanity successfully contains dinosaurs, we could enter an era of uneasy coexistence. Protected reserves and strict regulations could limit their impact, allowing humans to maintain control. However, this would require unprecedented global cooperation, as dinosaurs wouldn't respect national borders. A single breach, say a herd of sauropods escaping into the Amazon, could undo years of progress. Climate change would complicate this balance. As temperatures rise, dinosaurs might thrive in new regions, forcing humanity to adapt further. Rising sea levels could push aquatic dinosaurs closer to human settlements, increasing conflicts. Our ability to mitigate climate change while managing dinosaurs would determine the long-term viability of coexistence. Extinction or domination. If containment fails, humanity could face existential threats. Widespread ecological collapse could lead to famine, displacement, and societal breakdown. Predatory dinosaurs could decimate human populations, particularly in vulnerable regions. In a worst-case scenario, humanity might face extinction, leaving dinosaurs to reclaim the Earth. Alternatively, humanity could dominate through eradication. Advanced weapons, biological agents, or habitat destruction could wipe out dinosaurs, but at great cost. Such actions would further damage ecosystems, potentially rendering parts of the planet uninhabitable. The ethical cost of exterminating a species we brought back would also weigh heavily on our collective conscience. A new evolutionary path. In the long term, dinosaurs could drive evolutionary changes. Surviving species might adapt to compete with dinosaurs, leading to new forms of life. Humans too might evolve, culturally, technologically, or even biologically, to survive in a dinosaur-dominated world. Genetic engineering could create humans with enhanced strength or senses, better equipped to face these ancient rivals. Dinosaurs themselves might evolve, adapting to modern environments. Smaller, more agile species could thrive in urban ruins, while larger ones might dwindle without sufficient food. The interplay between human and dinosaur evolution would shape a new Earth, one where the boundaries between past and present blur. If you enjoyed this exploration of a dinosaur-filled future, consider subscribing for more thought-provoking content. What do you think? Could humanity survive a world with dinosaurs, or would we be doomed to repeat their extinction? Share your thoughts in the comments below.